All right, we are back with supplements part 2, and I know this is the one that y'all have been waiting for. It is supplements that I take as a professional athlete. So if you haven't watched part 1, go back and do that now, because that really laid the groundwork for what I'm about to explain. So I want you guys to know my beliefs, where I'm coming from, and so that this information will be way more useful. So go back and watch part 1. I will preface this with, I am a Cage sponsored athlete, and it's funny because I've been using Cage for years. I started using Cage Muscle when I came out of college and wanted to up my sports nutrition. As a professional athlete, I needed somebody that was third-party tested, that I knew would be safe. I've been using Cage since I first turned professional, and this past year got an Instagram DM from a throws coach in Idaho who works at Cage and said, hey, have you tried our products? I think you might like it. The ball got rolling on a sponsorship, so I'm happy to announce that I'm sponsored by Cage after paying for their supplements for 5 years. To jump in on what supplements I take, the number one that I would recommend for all athletes, that is the foundation, is protein. Protein is the king as far as supplements go. So I take 2 types of protein: whey isolate and casein. Protein is the building block of muscles. It's what your body uses to recover, rebuild, and grow new muscles. Without protein, your muscles aren't gonna grow. If you guys watched part 1, you know that I don't take anything that doesn't make sense, and I want to know why I'm taking it. So I take whey isolate as soon as I finish working out, because it's the fastest absorbing protein. So it gets in my body faster. You're in that recovery window. Whenever you do a hard workout, your body goes into recovery mode afterwards. It wants to rebuild the damage that you've done to the muscle. So I take whey isolate after the workout right away, so that I start recovering as fast as possible. So whey after the workout. And casein. Casein is a fantastic protein. It's really special because it is the slowest digesting protein. That means that you take it, and for the next 4 hours, your body constantly has protein available. It's much slower absorbing, so you don't want to take it after the workout. You want to take this before bed. Or if you have a series of classes you know you won't be able to eat, you have a big project to do, casein is great to steadily provide protein to your body. So casein before bed. The next supplement that I take is a multivitamin. I take Cage's multivitamin. The basic thought behind taking a multivitamin is that it covers all of the essential vitamins and minerals. So it has all 21 essential vitamins and minerals are in this. So if you have some holes in your diet, you might be lacking in certain places, this fills them. Even if you have a really well-balanced diet, you might be missing in a couple of places. So a multivitamin makes sure that you're covering all your bases. Next is probiotic. I cannot say enough about a good probiotic. I started taking this 2 years ago. It's when I first started taking a probiotic. We were getting ready for a world championship team. They recommended for traveling to take a probiotic to make sure your stomach didn't get upset. So I really dove in and did a lot of research, and I was blown away with the benefits that a probiotic can provide. Gut health is the hot topic right now in sports nutrition and just in nutrition in general. And more research is coming out showing the benefits of gut health, all the way from gut health affecting your mental health, affecting athletic performance, affecting recovery. I feel like as we learn more about the gut biome, it seems to be affecting more and more of our bodies than we ever knew. So I really highly recommend taking a probiotic just for your overall quality of life. You feel better, your gut health is better, your digestion is better. There are so many benefits that are continuing to come out, but I, from personal experience, was absolutely blown away with taking a probiotic consistently. So I absolutely recommend this. I would put this at the top of the list, right next to protein, in terms of benefits to athletes and even non-athletes. Take a probiotic. So next up, and continuing to follow the trend of knowing what you're putting in your body and why you're putting it in your body, is amino synergy. So amino synergy from Caged is all of your EAAs, which are essential amino acids. There's 9 EAAs, and they are the amino acids that your body cannot produce on its own. So all 9 EAAs have to come from your diet. So I want to make sure that my body has all of those available. Because it can't make them itself, it has to come from your diet. And so I want to make sure that my body has all of the required amino acids to function at its best. So that is why I supplement EAAs is because those have to come from diet. Your body cannot make them itself. Caged EAA is great. I just drink it throughout the day. Timing doesn't matter quite as much with an EAA, but it's just helping you run all of your body's baseline amino acid functions that you cannot make yourself. So now we get into the slightly touchier ones, the ones that have a bit of a bad rap. So to shed some light on those two, they are creatine and pre-workout. So yes, I take creatine. I feel like there's a ton of misinformation in regards to creatine monohydrate. Creatine is something natural. You get it in your diet. It's in red meat, it's in seafood, but it is something that can be very advantageous to supplement. Most athletes aren't getting the optimal amount of creatine. And to know how creatine works, when you ingest creatine, it goes to your muscle cells. 95% of the creatine in your body is in the muscle cells. And what creatine does, creatine increases phosphocreatine in the muscle cells, which helps you produce ATP, which is adenosine triphosphate. So when your muscle cells contract and burn energy, creatine helps to resupplement the ADP to ATP. So it gives you more energy, makes your muscles fire harder for longer. So it is important to supplement creatine because eating a ton of red meat is most likely not optimal for most of your diet. The biggest thing I want to reiterate is creatine is safe. It's been one of the most extensively researched supplements. It gets a bad rap because people don't use it properly. A recommended serving is 5 grams, so don't go crazy, because the biggest thing with creatine is your body will only absorb what it can use. So taking more than the 5 gram serving size is not gonna make you stronger than the 5 gram serving size. Ton of misinformation as well on loading creatine, taking creatine breaks, all of that. It doesn't make sense. So creatine is a supplement. It's like protein. Your body needs it to run efficiently. So it's something you should supplement every day in a moderate amount. You don't need to cycle creatine and go on and off. It doesn't make sense. You wouldn't cycle protein. You wouldn't say, I'm not going to take protein for the next 2 weeks to let my body get used to not having protein. So when I take protein again, I'm going to be really strong. It's the same with creatine. Your body needs it to run your ATP systems properly. So take the recommended amount. You don't need to load it. None of that. Just supplement creatine for optimal muscle performance. And now the other big one, probably one of the biggest selling sectors of sports nutrition is pre-workouts. Everyone loves pre-workouts because they make you feel really good. And it's one of those supplements that you take it and you know you took it right away because you're bouncing off the walls. And the word of advice I would give to athletes is be aware of pre-workouts. They have their time and their place, but be aware of the consequences. So if you have a really hard training day or you have a meet, a pre-workout is absolutely fine. But as an athlete, do not overdo it. You don't want to feel jittery. If you know that you get nervous in meets, don't take pre-workout because it's going to make you more nervous. It's going to make you more anxious. It's going to up all of those nervous systems. So be aware of that. Also, be aware of a dependency on pre-workout. If you have a hard lifting session and you take pre-workout, you'll have a fantastic day. I can almost guarantee that. But then the next time you come in and do that workout, if you don't have pre-workout, your numbers are going to be way down. So it can be a useful tool, but do not let it become a crutch. So you have to be aware that pre-workout has a tax. That great feeling that pre-workout gives you is fantastic, but you're gonna pay for it later. Pre-workout taxes your CNS. So you feel fantastic on the day, you hit massive numbers in the weight room, you hit massive throws, but your CNS, your central nervous system, is gonna be fatigued from that higher level of exertion. So use it as an aid, not as a crutch. It becomes really easy to get dependent on a pre-workout. So be aware of that. Use it sparingly as an athlete. My pre-workout of choice is Pre-Caged Sport. I take it on my meet days. Sometimes I'll go to pre-caged. It is definitely stronger, but I use it very sparingly, only when I really need it or if I have a big meet. And to high school athletes and all athletes in general, limit your pre-workout. Really, up until the collegiate level, I don't believe that there's a huge benefit to pre-workout. So be aware, use it in moderation, take a small amount, see how your body reacts to it. And the main thing is, do not overdo it. Don't become dependent on pre-workout. It's a fantastic training tool, but use it sparingly and be smart when you do use it. And we're down to the last two. So the next one, and I believe that it is massively underutilized, is carbohydrates. Cage Muscle doesn't make a carbohydrate, so I don't have one here in front of me, but carbohydrates are a key component of athletic performance. Carbohydrates are what your body uses as fuel. I would recommend all athletes supplement a quality carb. And what I mean by quality carb is look at the label and see what's in it. A big issue I have in the supplement industry that really bothers me is maltodextrin. So maltodextrin is practically a sugar, but the FDA says you don't have to classify it as a sugar, you can classify it as a carb. So maltodextrin is cheap. It's not a great thing to put in your body because it's pretty much just a simple sugar, yet you can list it as a carb. So stay away from all maltodextrin based carbs. Still use a third-party tested carbohydrate, but carbs are energy, and so intra workout while you're training, it's fantastic. It helps you not fall off and get tired towards the tail end of your workout. Carbs towards the tail end also help kickstart your recovery at the end of the workout. So take a quality carbohydrate, just stay away from maltodextrin. The last and final supplement that I take is Sleep SR. The SR stands for Sustained Release. It's a melatonin supplement. For those of you that don't know about melatonin, it's naturally produced by the body at bedtime. And the great thing about melatonin is that it's not habit forming. And so with how much time people spend looking at screens, myself included, looking at cell phones, laptops, TVs, all of those emit blue light. Blue light wakes your body up. In the current day and age, with how much time we spend on screens, looking at laptops, TVs, cell phones, your body can have a difficulty finding its natural circadian rhythm and knowing when to produce melatonin. I personally have a ton of trouble winding down in the evenings, and so I find that supplementing melatonin helps with that. If you're sleeping well, great, you don't need a sleep supplement. That kind of follows with the trend and my thought process on all of this. If you don't need it, you don't need to take it. But I sometimes have trouble winding down. If I'm flying to Europe or if I'm traveling transcontinental, it can help me get my sleep cycle aligned and sleep properly. So I think in the current day and age, people are having trouble sleeping. Quality of sleep is down. So if you feel like you can improve on your sleep, melatonin can help with that. For me, I know I use it. I don't take it every single night. I take it as needed. I think it's a huge thing. I was gonna say all the supplements that I take, so that's all of them. I hope you guys learned something. Drop any questions you might have in regards to this below. I'll get to try to answer all of those questions. The main goal of this is to shine light on supplements and show that they're not this big scary thing or this back room that no athletes want to talk about. So these are the supplements that I take as a professional athlete. The main thing that I hope you guys can take away from this is know what you're taking, know the reason why you're taking it, and how it's going to help you perform better. Focus on your diet first of all. Make sure you're getting as much as you can from proper nutrition and using supplements to supplement where you might be lacking. If you want to support the channel, any of these supplements are all on Cage. You can check out their website. So use promo code Ryan for 15% off. The money that you save comes back to the channel, and 100% of that goes to producing more content for you guys. So I believe we'll have my full supplement stack on there, which will be all of these supplements that I take. So check that out. And I know the season for a lot of athletes is winding down, so you can check out Cameo if you have a special message you want to send. Maybe it's a congratulations. Maybe someone has a big meet coming up and you want to wish them good luck. I can help you send that message. So check out Cameo. Link is in the bio as well. Last thing, Expert X. If you want online coaching, you can check out the Expert X app. I'll give you a full 10 to 12 minute breakdown, full video analysis, technique fixes, drills to work on. So check that out as well. I appreciate the support, guys. I hope you learned something, and have a fantastic day. Wishing you guys all far throws.